So I really thought that, everybody should be testing as much as possible, and I'd like to encourage you to do that in your buildings. I did notice in the Key Food on the, on the way out, there's a faucet that says, it's got big signs, don't drink the water. So, yeah, I don't know if anybody else saw that, but is that because of a problem with it? Or it's just a tenant's decision?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Okay, I would advise you look into that and please test the water. I guess the next thing I wanted to ask about was the LPR. You said it'd be out by September. The company you chose was Paylock. Is that the one in Somerville?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And can you tell me? I heard it's a 2-year deal. Do you know the financial terms of the deal? Like how much it costs the authority?
I'll have to get back to you on that because it's based on per permit basis. So it's not like a flat dollar amount. It's based on the number of permits.
Do you know how much per?
I don't want to give you a false number. I'll get back to you on that.
Okay, thanks. And you said it's for Jersey Ave as well as all the residential
Yep.
permits? Okay. Is there any update on the Ferrin site? What's going on there? I see the signs are still up for the LSRP doing remediation.
There is some movement as far as the last I've heard that they're aiming for demolition to begin within the next 60 to 90 days over there.
Demo within 60 to 90 days, so that would be like August?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. I heard there was an audit completed. Can you just tell me, are there any corrective actions or?
No comments. Everything was fine.
Okay.
That's also going to be posted on our website.
I heard, terrific. And I also have to ask about the the employees who were arrested. Has anybody else been fired or terminated, suspended in relation to that?
We have no comment on those issues.
Okay. So you can't tell me if anybody
No, I
was
said
fired?
we have no comment on that issue. You've written to me, I've written to you, and I've told you during the process of while the prosecutor is investigating until such time as the prosecutor concludes their investigation, we have no comment.
So it's still underway. You can't tell me if anybody's been fired. Can you tell me if the authority gets information that someone accepted a bribe, will they fire that person? And if that happens,
I won't speculate on something that hasn't happened, and relative to what has happened, as I've told you before, Charlie, and answered your emails, that pending an investigation until such time that the prosecutor either concludes an investigation or charges individuals, we have no comment on an ongoing investigation.
Okay. So separate from the investigation, I did want to learn a little bit about the Wolfson deck. Is it currently being used or is it now out of service for good?
No, it's currently being used till May 31st. That's when we're going to blockade the parking area. So it's currently being used for the valet.
Just for valet?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Correction. There is a daily side that with the multi-space meter that is being used for daily parking on an hourly basis. That's separate from the main section.
There's a multi-space meter in the
garage. Yeah,
okay.
It's on the right-hand side. It's about 36 spaces. So,
Gotcha.
So that's, but that also May 31st gets shut down.
For good.
Yep.
Okay. And yes. I wanted to ask what I missed at the special meeting. Was that just routine business? Why was there the need for a special meeting?
Special meeting was to approve an application to go to the local finance board with an application for the $810,000 note. That's special meeting for.
That's the one that was discussed previously. It just, I think March 9th it was.
Yeah, it's an advanced purchase agreement for the lease, so for the University Center. We took over the master lease, so there was obligations for which we're paying $810,000. And then after that, we manage the property going forward, and then there's a revenue share if there's a profit associated with the property.
So the item that was on the agenda for May 12th was in preparation for this.
To take over as the master lease.
And it costs $810,000 one time.
Correct.
And I heard it was a 25-year agreement.
Yeah, it's 25-year with a
15-year option.
15-year option.
Correct.
Okay, and then what happens after that? I'm just curious.
Well,
It
it's
goes
not our
reverts
pro-
to the,
Well, it's not our property. We don't own the bricks and mortar, we don't own the ground. The partners there, which is the housing authority and the university, and the hospital relative to the garage, but not the building, they own the site. They previously had a master leasee, and we took over as the master leasee, and there was a payment associated with that. But then the rental income comes to the parking authority. If there's profit then above and beyond our management fee, our operational expenses, then we'll share some of that with the housing authority.
understood. And so I'm not quite sure why was a special meeting necessary? Why couldn't this all have just been done at this meeting?
Because
Was
the
it-
LPR, we had to get the local finance board application in
Before
before this
their
meeting,
Right.
this meeting. So that's why we had
It's
it.
timing,
back-
otherwise
back.
you miss their site.
We had it in May
Okay, I
12th,
didn't-
because we had to get the
Understood.
application. It has to be for us to be on the June agenda, the local finance board, we had to have it in before today's meeting. That's
Understood.
what-
And if I can ask about one of the resolutions you're about to consider is the power purchase
Oh, yeah, that's,
agreement. What's the change?
there is no change. This is a continuation of, as you see, it's the third addendum.
Mhm.
This is basically for the property on Van Dyke. Bear with me 1 second. 40 Van Dyke.
Yeah.
The second addendum brought the agreement up to, I guess, April, and now they're extending it. I'm sorry, it brought it up to March 30th, 2016. So this is to extend it another, looks like 6 months, till August 31st. So they could continue, so they could put the panels up there. So you always have to keep extending it, so it gives them enough time to put the solar panels on that roof.
Okay, yeah, and I'm curious, that building is different than all the others because it's privately owned, right?
Well, I think it was used as a school. Is that the one used
It
as a
is,
school?
yeah.
So that's part of the
Leased by the
ones that
SDA.
were used by a school. The board of ed deemed that was appropriate for the school.
Okay, and I'm just curious, does the person who owns that building get any of the benefits of the electricity, the money, or do they just get to keep the solar panels when it's done?
Now, the power purchase agreement, well, that's a lease of, you're leasing out the solar panels. So, depending on the agreement, I don't know if he would keep the solar panels.
So they're leased, they're owned by who then?
They're owned by this company that's,
Okay.
the name of the company it was originally MBS Energy Partners, which is now Onyx Renewable Partners. Onyx.
Onyx Renewable
Yeah,
Partners. And-
NYX, Renewable Partners.
Okay, I was just curious if there's anything in it for that landlord, that property owner.
I wouldn't say, probably best to ask them. But,
Sure.
As far as, this is just continuation of the power purchase agreement that we had with the Board of Ed, the city, and ourselves, which we have the solar panels up on the Plum Street garage and the New Street deck.
Right.
So it's basically the same setup, and this is just adding another building to that.
Thank you very much for answering all my questions. One suggestion would be, while we wait to get the overpass over 27 to connect to the wellness, it'd be great to just get at least like a crosswalk painted on Route 27 to help people cross at that Kirkpatrick Street intersection. I know we were able to put a bus stop in, and that's a great step. Crosswalk would probably help business and certainly be good for safety, and that's all I have. Thank you very much for hearing me out.
Okay, any other board discussion? Okay, next item on the agenda is resolutions. Resolution number 1 is the payment resolution for May. Everybody's had a chance to look at that. If there's no questions, can I get a
Make a motion.
motion to accept it?
I'll second it.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Mitch described in his report the 2016 garage restoration program. This is a resolution to approve the low bid by Schnell Contracting. Can I get a motion to accept that resolution? Okay, I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, resolution authorizing the issuance and sale of project notes not to exceed $810,000. As Mitch pointed out, that's for the
Peace.
long-term lease of the retail space at University Center.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, I have a motion. Can I get a second for that? All in favor?
Aye.
And number
I
4.
think, what's
What?
that? She has to recluse herself.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, I apologize.
Just put that down.
Yeah, for the record, because she's an employee of the Housing Authority.
And that will apply
The
to
lease as well.
universities, item number 4 as well. The resolution to approve the lease to manage University Center retail.
Make a motion.
Okay, a motion?
Second.
A second, all in favor?
Aye.
And finally, the resolution approving the third addendum to the power purchase agreement, which Mitch just described. Can I make a motion? And a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. What's new with the pedestrian bridge,
Oh.
Mitch?
So much.
Okay, next item.
I'm actually meeting with the county tomorrow. Tomorrow's Thursday, right? Tomorrow, they want to go over, because technically they have air rights, because it's over county road, so we want to, they want to meet with us to point out about the project, and, yeah, obviously, the goal is to obtain air rights.
So, okay, all right.
So
Thank you.
Mitch, the jurisdiction of Route 27 is actually the county
Yeah,
rather
it's
than
county.
the state? It's
Yeah.
county.
Into county, as is Easton Avenue and Livingston Avenue.
Okay, Mitch, any new business?
No,
Are there any closed session items tonight?
no.
Okay. If there's no other business, I'd like to get a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion.
And a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.